Healing Minds and Souls, a faith-based community dedicated to bringing trauma-informed care to the North Nashville community and surrounding areas through education, resources, and building relationships to develop healthy and a holistic community. Pastor Ella Clay will be talking about how we can stop allowing fear to overtake us regardless of our past, present, or future. Come and learn how to recognize signs and symptoms of trauma as we understand the emotional, physical, social, and spiritual impact of traumas. We will unpack the meanings of vicarious traumas and how to avoid moral injury as we actively avoid re-traumatizing ourselves and others. Let's learn together how to navigate life challenges of grief, trauma, pain, and/or isolation, and discover our innate strengths of courage, kindness, trust, perseverance, and become better equipped to experience a newfound confidence by not letting circumstances define our current existence or future selves. Join our show today with Pastor Ella Clay. She serves as senior pastor of the historic First Community Church and executive director of Healing Minds and Souls, 1815 Knoll Street, Nashville, Tennessee, 37208.
Good morning. Thank you so much for joining us. Welcome to Healing Minds and Souls. I will bless the Lord at all times. God's praises shall continually be in my mouth. My soul shall make her boast in the Lord. The humble shall hear thereof and be glad. We're here because we have great testimonies of God and how God has brought us through, how God continues to work miracles out of our lives. Thank you for joining us. We'll be right back with you after we hear from our sponsors.
Join host Dr. William Head each Thursday live at 4:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. The show is Let's Talk About It, chats with experts on their field, issues that affect everyone, and interviews with people who have found success in life. Are you looking to watch some of your favorite family TV shows like The Dick Van Dyke?
The Dick Van Dyke Show. Starring Dick Van Dyke.
Lucy?
The Lucy Show.
The Cosby Show and more? Look no more. With our service, you can instantly access hundreds of classic family TV shows. Plus, you can watch them anytime and anywhere. Are you looking for a way to successfully advertise your business or ministry? Look no further than North Nashville's online TV station. Our platform gives you the opportunity to showcase your business or ministry to a wide range of viewers. With our advertising service, you get access to creative professionals who can help spread your message and reach potential customers in a cost-effective manner. We understand the importance of creating an impactful advertisement, and we are committed to helping you achieve your goals.
This morning we have Dr. Ethel Robinson, a family nurse practitioner in Nashville, Tennessee. She specializes in aging in place and birth control counseling in addition to other conditions. She graduated in 1995, having over 27 years of diverse experience in nurse practitioner. Thank you so much for being here with us on this morning. Amen. Your bio was very, very brief. However, we know that it's power-packed and fully filled with things that you have done in the community that has enriched lives in tremendous ways. And so thank you for joining us on this morning, Dr. Ethel Robinson.
Glad to be here.
I tell you what, this is an amazing woman that we have with us on this morning. And if you're looking for a wonderful and amazing nurse practitioner, this is the lady that I would recommend. She practices in a different way. Oftentimes when we go into practices, medical practices, or go to the hospital, people oftentimes feel like they've been rushed. Sometimes doctors don't even, our nurse practitioners, and not all of them, but some appear not to have the time to really take effort or care that individuals need. And I have found that not to be true with you. Can you share how your practice is different than other practices?
Oh, absolutely. First of all, thank you for allowing me to be here. This has been just amazing, and I know that this interview will be amazing. So let me give you a little bit of background about Harmony Family Health Care. Myself and 2 other women started Harmony Family Health Care in 2009 because we believed that something needed to be different. Something needed to be different about health care. You're exactly right. There's a system that we've created that says get individuals in, get them out. Let's focus on the illness. Let's do sick care. And we believe that, and my partners were Carlotta Crawford and Maureen Barton, so we thought that something could be different. And we decided to get together and create Harmony Family Health Care. And that has been an amazing journey. So what we try to do, and I think is a little different, is we try to schedule our patients in a way that will give us a little bit more time to listen. When you listen, you get to know who the person is. They feel valued. They feel heard. Then what you can also begin to do is build that kind of trust and relationship. So I think where we perhaps are slightly different is because we focus on that. When you begin to know who he is, who she is, there's some things that will open up to you that are simply amazing about individuals. And they need to be heard. They do need health care. They do need issues addressed. But we try to look at the whole person, not just the illness.
Amazing, the whole person. So serving people in a holistic way is so vitally important because I'm sure oftentimes when a person comes in to have their medical health care taken care of, they have other needs. And we're going to get to that in just a little bit. But before we do, can you share how your life journey brought you to this point? How did you decide that you wanted to get into healthcare? What was the impetus behind where you are at this point? Can you share a little bit?
Oh, that's a great question. That's a great question. I grew up here in Nashville, Tennessee. Born in Detroit, and mom and dad relocated here. In our community and in our family, it was an extended family. So I knew what it was like to take care of and interact with my great uncle, my great aunts, my grandmother. And so I remember when I was about 8 years old, I know now that my great uncle, whom I loved, developed prostate cancer. Now, they didn't call it prostate cancer then because you didn't name those things. But now I understood what it is, what it was now. And during that time, of course, you go through your process. And as he was going through his dying process, I remember clearly because as a little girl, I'm walking up the street with his breakfast in my hand to feed him. I was 8 years old. I'm walking up the street to feed him his lunch and his dinner. So that's how the family used even the children. I remember when he was dying in Vanderbilt Hospital, and I heard the moans and the groans. And I knew that he didn't feel well because he sure didn't look well. And to my 8-year-old heart and mind, I sat outside of his door. And as I listened to him groan, I asked the Lord to use me. Tell me what to do. I don't want anybody to suffer like that. I know that my prayer was answered because every time I tried to move in a different direction, God brought me back as I became a teenager, a young adult, as I began to go to school. So I did go to nursing school. I did become a family nurse practitioner. And in that way, I can help individuals in their living process as well as their transitional wonderful process.
Amazing. And it's really interesting how things early on in our life leaves an indelible mark upon us. And we can see how God is using that as a guide to thrust us or to pivot us or to push us
Yes.
into the place that God has destined for us to work in, to grow in, to develop in, and also to help others. It's interesting that I don't think anything is really happenstance. I think most things, if not all things, are divinely guided by God. Even our challenges, right?
Yes.
Everything is divinely guided by God. So it's amazing that a young girl, you prayed to God,
I did.
and God heard your prayer.
He did.
And He continues to fulfill it in so many beautiful ways. Even as we think about your practice, and again, you use a holistic approach.
Yes.
So, again, not just the medical part, but the emotional side.
Yes.
I think about Maslow's hierarchy of needs.
Yes.
Because although you may be seeing someone in a physical state, addressing their physical ailments, but if you're not meeting those basic needs, then the full health care spectrum is not really being addressed. And you're remarkable how you do that. Can you share about that, how you, each patient?
Okay, all right. You are exactly right. I serve in the North Nashville community, and people come from all over to our practice. Again, I continue to practice with my colleague Carlotta Crawford, and you'll get to meet her, and hopefully you guys will be able to do this very same thing. But what we focus on is, again, the whole person. It's important that he or she feel that those basic needs are being met. When a person is hungry, it's really hard to talk about your high blood pressure.
Yeah.
I don't care about my high blood pressure. I'm hungry. So what we do at Harmony is we try to make sure that we have a list of places that individuals can definitely go. We have that list. We know who to send them to. And especially HMS. I've sent several people to HMS because they were hungry. When they were fed, then we can begin to perhaps talk about high blood pressure. There's some women and men who are unhoused. We get to at least send them to places where we know someone can help. And even if it's a temporary safety issue, we know how to get in contact with those people. That's what we do in our practice. Because if you're hungry, if you don't feel safe, I'm so sorry, you don't care about your high blood pressure or what that physical issue. Now, once those kinds of things are taken care of, then we can focus on the fact that your reflux is not doing well for you. We can focus on maybe we need to get you to see a gastroenterologist because you really need your colonoscopy or your mammogram. And then they're ready to sort of settle in. Even patients who have children, young women who have children, we have an amazing group of patients who come to us, and those women who have children who need additional help. You see, you have to create a relationship with mom before you can tell mom, I know there's something different about your child. Not bad, it's not bad, but it's different. And the first thing we do is, as parents, we want to do what? Protect our children. Oh no, he's just fine, she's just fine. And as you begin to develop that relationship, you can say, would you take him to this specialist and just let's see. The reason she's going to do that is because now she trusts you.
That's right.
You're looking at not only her body, but you're looking at her heart and her mind and even her spirit. There's some people who are broken inside. And I know that you need someone to love you, not because of what they can get from you, but because of who you are. And it's in the physical that she needs someone to reach out and touch her. God is already guiding someone to touch her. So we focus on that at Harmony Family Health Care. And I think that is what, again, makes us different. And we look at the whole person, not just one aspect.
Your practice is really, really amazing in so many ways, and you are you are always before the cutting edge of what technology medicine is doing. Recently, I had the opportunity to attend Vanderbilt Nursing School. They had a session there for individuals that were in the community to come in to share about the work that we were doing. And so in that, what they said in that session was that nursing practitioners are going to have to start practicing differently. And some of the things that you're doing, that's what they're just now teaching in some of the most phenomenal schools, that this is the way that you're going to have to practice. Not only when the person comes in are you going to deal with their medical condition, but what if they don't have transportation to get back home? Then how do you have the resources there? Do you have different organizations that can assist? So I certainly commend you for being before the cutting edge, you know, on the really concerned about people and serving people in a really holistic way.
Yes.
Absolutely. So let's talk about how does mental health care and physical health care, behavioral health care intersect. What it appears to me is that oftentimes when people are talking about physical health care, that's separate from the mental health care. It's easy to talk about the physical part, but when we're dealing with trauma, when we're dealing with different challenges, behavioral health care, it seems to me that there is a disconnect. And so how important is it that we're intersecting those different areas so that we are treating people in a holistic way? It's something about when you have like a wound, you can see the wound.
Yes.
So you want to take care of that. But when you're hurting on the inside, the emotional, and although there's symptoms that we can see from it, but oftentimes the community, society, we push back from that. How can we, I don't want to know if we don't want to say normalize, but how can we bring more awareness?
Wow, that is a packed question, I think even when I was teaching at Tennessee State University, and even as I was teaching at Meharry Medical College, even as we have students coming to be with me, I think over the last 20 years, we have known that you can't separate one's physical well-being from one's mental well-being. And we've seen the pendulum swing. I've seen in 30 years ago where you had a lot of nurse practitioners who were getting into psychiatric nursing, a lot of nurses going into psychiatric nursing, and then what happens is the pendulum swings. There was a lot of financial support for those kinds of areas. There were a lot of several more places, even here in Nashville, where people could go to get mental health. And then the pendulum seemed to be swinging, and it did swing, and some of those places closed. You saw more homelessness in Nashville, and people who were homeless, some of them do have mental health issues. So the challenge for physicians, the challenge for nurse practitioners, the challenge for social workers is how do we identify and help those individuals, both mentally, physically, and emotionally. So I think educational-wise, schools of nursing, and I think even medical schools, and I can speak with, I think, for Meharry, is looking at how we educate physicians, how we educate nurses, how we educate nurse practitioners to begin to identify those mental issues as well as medical issues, and then deal with them together. There are people who, of course, are experts in how you deal with mental issues. I think we have to begin to work and partnership very closely with those individuals. I am not an expert in mental health. I'm not. But I do understand the symptoms of depression. I do understand when a person may have bipolar tendencies, and bipolar disorder is showing itself. Now, and I know what to do in terms of diagnosing, and if I don't know what's going on, I know that there's a referral system. There's some people that I know that I can refer these individuals to. The beautiful thing is that we'll be developing systems in medicine so that we can communicate more easily with each other. Of course, our electronic medical records help us to give information rather quickly. So when I'm talking to the psychiatrist or the counselor, I know what that patient has been dealing with because I can get those notes and read them. And I can send them my notes, and so now we can stay on one accord so that we can give the patient more fluid and holistic care. Now that's wonderful. But also, we're bringing in ministers who can help in that spiritual, emotional side as well. So I have, Pastor Ella, I have referred patients to you.
Yes.
I have.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely. And what has happened is they feel loved here. They feel appreciated here. They feel respected here. Those who take the opportunity and take the time and are willing to come get what is being served here. But not only do you serve it here, you're willing to go out. You're willing to refer. You're willing to use your resources for those individuals. And for that, I am eternally grateful. So you see, it takes the whole community, the medical community, the mental health community, our church community, to work together to help all individuals. So I think that's how we need to look at and help that mental health issue.
And I think that's what makes you so different and you stand out above the rest, is that you understand that it's important not to work in silos, that we need a community of professionals just working together in a collaborative way so that we can help the individuals that need to be helped.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I tell you, I am just so thoroughly always impressed, always encouraged when I am around you, and I'll continue to learn a lot. Let me ask you this: how do you balance your life and your practice and everything else that you do? How do you balance that?
Oh my goodness. If you ask my husband, he'd say, I really need to spend more time at home. I have been asking God to help me to continually balance my life. I admit that there are times when I probably work more than I should have. But I am constantly, again, trying to make that balance. I am a lifelong learner, love to read, love to go to my conferences, but I'm also learning to be a grandmother. And in different phases of my life. And I'm in that latter phase where things
I can't believe that.
I am. Things are beginning to change because I'm approaching a time in my life when I'm going to retire in terms of doing something different. I will always, I think, be in healthcare, but I'll be transitioning and won't hold as many office hours. But I think the beautiful thing is for me to remember is preparing someone else to step in their unique way and see how God is going to use them. Things are scheduled for a little while.
Yeah.
God uses me in my time and in His time. I'm not here always. So the wonderful thing is I need to begin to look at, and I have with my teaching and with my mentoring younger nurse practitioners, to replace myself many times over.
Oh my goodness.
So when it's my time,
Oh my God.
when it's my time to go home, when it is my time to rest eternally, the legacy will always live on. There will be people stepping in to touch and to move and to shape and to serve long after me. I must and I am replacing myself.
Whew. That is so powerful. And so that is very important for legacy to continue.
Absolutely.
Oftentimes, a person may have started a really good business, a good organization, have a great idea, but if you're not allowing that legacy to continue, then we have failed as individuals. But you're such a wise woman, and so she knows the importance of leaving a legacy for generations that are not even born yet.
Yes.
What a powerful thought.
Thank
So if
you.
someone wanted to get in contact with you, if they're looking for an amazing, the best nurse practitioner, Dr. Ethel Robertson, how could they get in contact with you?
So please do call Harmony Family Health Care. The number is area code 615-291-9923. Myself or my partner, Carlotta Crawford, will be glad to serve you. We would be honored.
Thank you so much. Want to make sure that we lifted that information because I'm sure the viewers are looking. If you were like me, you're looking for someone that you can go to that you feel that they really care about you and not just caring about the insurance or just another number. Listen, you said something important a little while ago, and I wanted to get back to that. You talked about the mental care, the trauma-informed information, kind of spoke to that. What are some symptoms if someone is dealing with anxiety or depression? How would someone be able to locate that and locate themselves? Could you just share symptoms? I think that would be important for our audience to hear.
Okay. Let's start with the anxiety first
Okay.
of all. Anxiety is a feeling that something is not right, that something is pending, something, it may feel ominous. You can't pinpoint it, but it makes you feel extremely uncomfortable. Some of those people may have racing heart. They may be sweating. They may feel like some doom. And they can't, and they look around them and they say, I don't see a danger, but I feel it inside. So those individuals are not able to rest. They're not able to quiet their mind. They may have racing thoughts. And this, being in a state like this is uncomfortable. They may even feel restless, can't really concentrate. So these may be symptoms of anxiety, and people have these to varying degrees. Some have anxiety to the point that they cannot operate well, they cannot live their daily life. And when you have these kinds of symptoms, it's important, first of all, to make sure that physically you're okay. With hyperthyroidism, sometimes you'll have a racing heart, you eat but you don't gain weight. So there's some physical things that we'll make sure to rule out. And then if it's emotional, if it's psychological, mental, then there are counselors who are available. There is medication management that can come alongside that and be helpful for that individual. Depression. Depression can be moderate, it can be major. The individual may not be interested in things that they used to be interested in. They may want to sleep more. They may want to self-isolate more. They may feel that life is not worth living. They may feel an overall sadness, not have much energy. That individual's self-care may be lacking. I don't want to do my hair. I don't want to cut my hair. I don't even want to bathe. Some people in depression may actually eat more to feel better. Some people may just avoid eating much of anything. So again, those individuals we need to make sure that there's nothing physically wrong. Individuals who have cancer may not want to eat. They may not have much energy. So we need to make sure that physically they're okay. And then, of course, there are, again, mental health individuals, psychiatrists, psychologists, counselors that we can refer them to, along with medication management, along with having support from the community, support from their family, individuals who have depression and anxiety.
Thank you for that. And so what would you share to a young lady or even a young man that are feeling they are dealing with anxiety, they're dealing with depression, they feel that their life is just really challenging right now, don't see any way out. Seemingly they're in a cycle. One situation happens after another. And so we know that you are a phenomenal medical doctor. We know that, nurse practitioner.
Yes.
But what would you say to them spiritually on the spiritual side of that, if they're in that space?
You're not alone.
Mm.
You're not alone. What you feel is real. People need to be validated.
Yes.
My feelings need to be validated. Don't tell me that I don't feel what I feel. That's rude. That's inconsiderate. And that says that you don't see me
Unknown
as a
caller.
person. Sorry. That says you don't see me as a person. So
Right.
validate me, number one. I would definitely ask that person to go to their healthcare provider to be evaluated carefully. I would ask them to be open to help as well, getting help where help is needed. I would also ask them to reach out to their own minister, their own pastor, that group of people where they feel safe, they feel heard, they feel loved. Sometimes that may be a community, that may be a church, that may be a friend. Reach out, because you are not alone. And if you feel alone, we'll start doing and acting in ways that are not healthy and that are unproductive. So that's what I would want to share with someone who is in the grips of depression, in the grips of anxiety. And those people around you, sometimes they don't know what to do either, and they will need support. So there's a community around them that they can reach out to help that individual, because we're not alone.
We're not alone, and I'm so grateful that we're not alone.
Amen.
I'm really thankful
Yes.
that the Word of God says that I will never leave you or forsake you. I will be with you always. And even sometimes when we feel that we are alone, we still can just rely on the strength, on God's strength.
Absolutely.
Sometimes we have to dig deep too on the inside of us and just love on ourselves, even with self-care. That's important
absolutely.
too.
Absolutely.
Sometimes that's what a person may be lacking, is just the self-care.
Yes.
Can always be given out to everyone else.
Yes.
A lot of people can come to them for help, but in some cases they may feel that they don't have anyone to help them. But remember, you are not alone. God is for you, and God is more than the world is against you. What would be your final words to our audience?
Oh my goodness. I think my final words would be, love God. Know yourself. When you reach out, others will reach back for you and to you. And together, we can make this world a better place. And God can work through our hands, through our feet, through our love for each other and for Him.
Amen. Thank you so much. And that's been holistic. So I'm reminded of the scripture in a holistic way. Love the Lord thy God with thy heart, thy mind, and thy soul, and
Yes.
then love your neighbor as you love yourself.
Yes.
And so when you're loving yourself in a healthy way, you're able to love your neighbor in a healthy way as well.
Amen.
Dr. Ethel Robertson, thank you again for being with me on this beautiful, beautiful morning. We're going to have to bring you back, and we're going to talk more about the wonderful work that you continue to do in our community and surrounding areas. Thank you so much for joining us. Remember, the Lord loves you. You're created in the very image and likeness of God.
Yes.
And you are fearfully and wonderfully made. Thank you so much for being with us on today, and we will see you on next week. God bless you.